When considering the financial aspects of cloud computing, it's important to understand the differences between capital expenditures, or CapEx, and operational expenditures, or OpEx. CapEx involves spending on physical infrastructure up front, like buying servers. This means that organizations need to invest a significant amount of money initially to purchase that hardware and other infrastructure components. On the other hand, OpEx allows organizations to spend on services or products as needed. With OpEx, there's no need for a large initial investment. Instead, organizations get billed immediately for the services that they use. This pay-as-you-use model provides flexibility and helps manage cash flow much more effectively. The consumption-based model offers numerous benefits, the number one being no upfront costs. This means organizations do not need to make significant initial investments in infrastructure. Instead, they can allocate their financial resources more effectively. Additionally, there's no need to purchase or manage costly infrastructure that may or may not be used to its fullest. This eliminates the risk of over-provisioning and underutilization, ensuring that resources are used efficiently. Another key benefit is the ability to pay for additional resources when they're needed. This flexibility allows organizations to scale their operations up or down based on demand, without being locked into long-term commitments. Furthermore, the consumption-based model provides the ability to stop paying for resources that are no longer needed. This ensures that organizations only pay for what they use, leading to cost savings and better budget management. Hopefully, that helped everyone understand what cloud computing is a little bit better. Let's get started on our next learning objective on some of the benefits of using cloud services. Using cloud services brings several significant benefits, starting with high availability. This means that your application and data are accessible whenever you need them, with minimal downtime. Cloud providers like Azure have multiple data centers around the world, ensuring that your services can remain up and running even if one location experiences an issue. Another key benefit is elasticity. With cloud services, you can quickly adjust your resources to match your current needs. If you experience a sudden increase in demand, you can easily scale up your resources to handle the load. Conversely, if demand decreases, you can scale down to avoid any unnecessary costs. This flexibility allows you to respond to changing conditions without over-provisioning or underutilizing your infrastructure. Scalability is also a major advantage of using cloud services. As your business grows, you can seamlessly expand your infrastructure to support new users, applications, and data. You don't have to worry about the limitations of physical hardware or the complexities of managing a large-scale environment. Instead, you can focus on delivering value to your customers and driving your business forward. These features ensure that your applications and data are always accessible, allow you to adjust resources as needed, and support your business growth without the constraints of traditional infrastructure. Let's take a closer look at scalability and elasticity before we discuss more of the benefits of using cloud services. Scalability refers to either scaling vertically, which means scale up to a larger compute environment, or to scale down to a smaller compute environment. Or it can refer to scaling horizontally, which means increasing or scaling out the number of compute environments, or to decrease or scale in the number of compute environments. For example, if we have a virtual machine configured with 4 gigs of RAM, we could scale it up to 12 gigs of RAM. We could also scale that machine with 12 gigs of RAM down to a machine with only 8 gigs of RAM. Scale out means that we can add an additional machine of the same size, which effectively will double the amount of compute. And we can even add a third machine to increase the amount of compute even further. Remember that elasticity refers to how we trigger scaling to occur automatically. So an example of this might be if we have one virtual machine and we set a scaling rule to trigger it at the average CPU used percentage maybe goes above 80%. Then we can add a second virtual machine automatically. And then if that machine's CPU usage goes above 80%, we can add a third machine, and so on, until we have enough compute capacity to handle the job. So to recap, scaling vertically is about increasing or decreasing the size of the compute, and scaling horizontally is about increasing or decreasing the number of compute environments. And elasticity is about doing all of this automatically. Let's discuss more of the benefits of using the cloud. Starting with reliability. Cloud providers like Azure ensure that your applications and data are always available with minimal downtime. This reliability is achieved through multiple data centers and redundant systems that we'll discuss in a later session. Predictability is another significant advantage. With cloud services, you can anticipate costs and performance more accurately. This predictability helps you manage your budget and resources effectively, ensuring that you get the most value from your investment. Security is a top priority for cloud providers. Azure offers robust security measures, including encryption, access controls, and regular security updates. These features help protect your data and applications from threats. Governance is also enhanced with cloud services. Azure provides tools and policies that help you manage compliance and regulatory requirements. This helps to ensure that your organization adheres to industry standards and best practices. And lastly, manageability is a major benefit of using cloud services. Azure offers a range of management tools that simplify the administration of your infrastructure. These tools allow you to monitor performance, automate tasks, and manage resources efficiently. Now, let's discuss our last learning objective on the different types of cloud services. The first type of cloud service is called Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. IaaS is the most basic category of cloud computing services. With IaaS, you can build a pay-as-you-go IT infrastructure by essentially renting servers, virtual machines, storage, networks, and operating systems within Azure. This model allows you to avoid the costs and complexities of buying and managing your own physical servers and equipment. And instead, you get an instant computing infrastructure that is provisioned and managed over the internet. This flexibility enables you to scale your resources based on your needs, making it a cost-effective and efficient solution for many organizations. Platform as a Service, or PaaS, provides an environment for building, testing, and deploying software applications. This model helps you create applications quickly without the need to focus on managing the underlying infrastructure. By using PaaS, you can streamline the development process, allowing your team to concentrate on writing code and delivering high-quality applications efficiently. This approach not only accelerates development, but also reduces the complexity and cost associated with managing the infrastructure. Some examples of services that are considered platform as a service include the Azure App Service, which allows you to host web applications, as well as the Azure SQL Database Service, which allows you to host databases in a SQL environment. When you provision these services, they come with all of the necessary infrastructure required to host the service. So you can focus on configuring and managing the service itself without needing to manage any of the underlying infrastructure. Software as a Service, or SaaS, delivers software applications over the internet, usually on a subscription basis. With SaaS, you can access applications through a web browser without needing to install or maintaining any software on your devices. This model provides ready-to-use applications that are managed and updated by the service provider, which means you always have access to the latest features and security updates. SaaS is ideal for businesses that want to use software without the hassle of managing it. This offers convenience, scalability, and cost effectiveness. And by leveraging SaaS-based services, organizations can focus on their core activities while enjoying the benefits of modern cloud-based applications. So to recap, IaaS is the most flexible cloud service. With IaaS, you configure and manage the infrastructure for your application. This means you have control over the virtual machines, storage, and networks, allowing you to tailor the infrastructure to meet your needs. PaaS, on the other hand, allows you to focus on application development. The platform management is handled by the cloud provider, so you don't have to worry about the underlying infrastructure. This enables you to concentrate on writing code and delivering high-quality applications efficiently. And SaaS operates on a pay-as-you-go pricing model. Users pay for the software they use on a subscription basis. This model provides ready-to-use applications that are managed and updated by the service provider, ensuring that you always have access to the latest features and security updates. As you consider and evaluate public cloud services, it's critical to understand the shared responsibility model and which security tasks the cloud provider handles and which tasks you need to handle. The workload responsibilities vary depending on whether the workload is hosted as a software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or within an on-premises data center. In an on-premises data center, you own the entire stack and you are responsible to create and manage everything from the physical data center and hardware all the way up to managing all the data. As you move to the cloud, some of these responsibilities transfer to Microsoft. For example, if you use services that are considered to be infrastructure as a service, Microsoft takes care of the physical hardware. When you use PaaS-based services, we start to manage more of the implementation of the service. And then with the SaaS model, Microsoft takes care of almost all the implementation to host the service. Regardless of the type of deployment, you always retain the following responsibilities: data, endpoints, accounts, and access management. This means that while Microsoft handles certain aspects of security infrastructure management, you must ensure that your data and access controls are secure and still properly managed. That brings us to the end of our first session, where we introduce the cloud and its benefits, as well as the different types of cloud implementations. Then we covered the different types of cloud services and finished with an overview of the shared responsibility model. This concludes session 1. We'll take a quick 10-minute break before we start with session 2 on Azure architecture and Azure Compute Services. Enjoy your break and see you soon.